What's going on, gang? I just checked out the brand new remake of The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, which is currently available on Hulu. If you're dreading another lifeless remake, don't worry. 2025's Hand That Rocks the Cradle isn't quite that, despite how painfully bland the opening is. Seriously, the first 20 minutes or so of the film are so dry that even the house, where most of the movie takes place, ends up feeling like a metaphor for my experience. Cold, open, and kind of colorless. The original film had a cozy suburban family in it. Like, oh yeah, I've met people like this. I'm related to people like this. I am people like this. But the new version comes nowhere close to nailing that vibe. There's a disconnect early on, like the movie's trying to update the formula but hasn't figured out how to make you care about the cast yet, or relate to. Lucky enough, if you stick through it, things start to click. The story does eventually carve out its own voice, and by the third act, it's doing something genuinely different. And frankly, the payoff is way more satisfying than I would have expected. And honestly, it feels like the movie earns your viewing by going down a very different path than the original. There's something of a mystery element to this movie that I did not expect, but completely appreciated. One big change that stood out, there's no Ernie Hudson character in this, which, yeah, is probably a smart decision in 2025. Instead, they reworked some of the dynamics to have the babysitter character have a subtle bisexual subplot, and it adds an intriguing layer of seduction and control that actually fits the movie's themes quite well. It's still an uneven ride. That cold, detached cinematography doesn't help, and the first act really kills the momentum before it can even start, but once it finds its rhythm, it's genuinely rewarding. If you're expecting a beat-for-beat remake, this is definitely not that. You're going to be thrown off. But is that the worst thing? Because if you're open to something that builds on the original in its own weird, modern way, it's actually worth sticking around for. The subduction, I've got a secret element really helped misdirect the crowd. I gave the film a 3.1 out of 5. I'm curious to hear what you have to say. Have you seen The Hand That Rocks the Cradle? Do you prefer the original? I still prefer the original, but this is worth a watch at the very least. So a couple of you have asked me about the implied or perceived controversy with this movie, and I wanted to go through it really quickly because I don't think anyone who's seen this movie and understands the language of film or storytelling would really come to the conclusion that this is message over anything else and it's being woke, for a lack of a better term. I think that's absurd. Normally, I would call it out. 2019's Black Christmas is awful. It's way too heavy-handed, but at no point did I perceive The Hand That Rocks the Cradle as something that was being heavy-handed with messaging. It's part of the narrative. Contextually, it fits, and I'll go through it really quickly here. This is something of a mild spoiler warning. It's not like anything that happens in the third act will be discussed here, but if you want to go in completely dark, warning about that now. But here, I will dissect why
I want to be the daddy, the husband.
Is rather well misunderstood because it's not just dropped in there. Here we go. Earlier in the film, we get a glimpse into Mother's secrets when she admits a bisexual past. The scene's framed beautifully, or symbolically, should I say.
It's funny, I was dating a woman when I met Miguel.
I think I could tell that.
This bit of information is being delivered as she looks through a mirror with slits in it. It's subtle, but it plants the idea in our heads that her self-image or her identity is fractured. So as far as the cinematography is concerned, they've established something there. She's a character split between the person she presents to her family and the version of herself she doesn't quite know how to face. Already one seed planted. The next big cue is this. The moment the mother accidentally catches the babysitter having sex with another woman, but instead of turning away, she's frozen there. She's watching through the window. It's voyeuristic, but most importantly, it's revealing. It suggests a buried attraction, or at least curiosity, and perhaps she's repressing in her day-to-day life. That quick glance through the window is like her seeing a reflection of something she's tried to hide. Again, the cinematography helps this instance. Not long after we have this scene with the daughter, she starts going closer and closer and looking up to the babysitter, and she's told that her mother is hiding a secret.
What does depressed mean?
It means that you're sad, that you don't like yourself.
Is that like my mom?
No. She's angry.
At me?
No. At me.
Why?
I know a secret about her. And when you know a secret about someone, you hold power over them. People don't like that.
What's the secret?
She's pretending to be someone else.
Who is she?
Not who she's pretending to be.
At this point in the story, everyone knows the babysitter's gay, and the context gives the line a different weight. The daughter's understanding of her mother's secret is obviously childlike. She's piecing together bits of adult behavior that she doesn't fully grasp, but it shows how the babysitter's deliberately planting ideas to undermine the family dynamic. And finally, we get the woke-ass dinner scene. This is probably the most misinterpreted thing I've seen in a while. The daughter blurts out that she wants to be a husband.
I want to be the daddy, the husband.
She says she wants to kiss a woman.
Okay, so are you saying you wish you were a man?
No. I want to be kissing the woman. I want her to love me, not him.
On the surface, it's innocent and naive, the way a child might misunderstand relationships, but cinematically, it's about manipulation. The babysitter keeps eating. She's completely unbothered while everyone else's attention is completely focused on what the girl is saying. Kind of like she knows exactly what she's doing. She's twisted the daughter's perception to quietly jab at the mother's insecurities about her own identity. And we as an audience have the seeds there to perceive that this is going in many more places than just a child not knowing what the hell she's talking about. So it's not quite as bad as Unplanned. It's not quite as bad as Black Christmas 2019. In fact, I think it's well established throughout the movie. And if anything, it makes me second guess the cinematography. So no, before you avoid the modern remake of The Hand That Rocks the Cradle because of woke reasons, it's not fair. Again, anyone who understands the language of film wouldn't be saying that. This isn't some hot button thing that you need to write it off because a girl says, I want to be a man. Get the full context because people who know, they know this is nonsense.